So, despite everything that's gone on, tomorrow there are a few pretty important things that I need to talk about. Oh, okay, Dark Hour already. Interesting. So, what will happen now that Pharos is no longer visiting us? Oh, right, we're just being called to the Velvet Room. It's been a while since this happened. So, hey Igor, how you been doing lately?
Welcome. As I'm sure you are aware, you are currently in a dream. Now then, there has been a change in you recently. Have you noticed?
If you know the symbolism of Tarot Arcana, you know that death symbolizes change, and that's recently maxed out, so definitely fits with what he's been saying here.
And I am not referring to your change in circumstances.
Of course, those have certainly changed too.
I am referring to the change in your mentality. That is why I have summoned you here tonight.
Huh, is Gary Stu really changing his mentality? I mean, you'd think these experiences would have some effect on him.
Going forward, there is one thing you mustn't forget. I see you recognize it. Shall I remind you of your commitment? I chooseth this fate of mine own free will. There is no need to worry. Whichever path you choose, I shall respect your decision. However, only you will bear the responsibility for your actions, no matter what end they may bring about. Please, remember that. Well then, I bid you farewell.
It was Pharos who got us to sign that contract in the first place, though. Igor doesn't seem to have mentioned him, though. I feel like in some ways that whole conversation relates to the fact that we just kind of made things worse by fusing all of the shadows together. And so, yeah, we have to accept responsibility for that.
Yo, Chidori. Sorry about not being able to come lately. A lot's been going on. Hey, what's wrong? So you heard about Takai and Jin, huh? I was planning on telling you. They were your friends, after all. What? That's not it?
I'm scared. It hurts. Junpei, what will you be doing in 2 years?
2 years? I don't know. I really haven't thought about it. Why do you ask? Hey, I noticed you stopped, hurting yourself.
Oh, I guess.
That's good. I mean, you have such beautiful hands.
Don't touch me.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to.
This is too painful. It used to be fun when you came to visit. But it's different now.
Huh?
It hurts inside. I can't breathe. I can't take this anymore.
What do you mean? I don't understand. Did I do something wrong? Tell me what it is.
Junpei. Don't come here anymore.
But, Chidori...
Well, that certainly escalated. But for the moment, we've got our own problems to deal with. Is anyone saying anything new here? Yeah, they did. Well, something bad already happened with this school, but you don't really need to know that. Oh, and you're saying exactly the same thing. But yeah, everyone does have some new dialogue now that, yeah, what just happened involving you too. Okay, so you're saying something different. But we actually are seeing Bebe today, which means we're going to need a Temperance persona. Even the Yandere girl is being at least somewhat reasonable, although she probably just wants to put herself into a hurt comfort freak with Mitsuru. I mean, it's not selfish to, you know, be in mourning after someone close to you's passed away. Of course, they were jerks when Shinjiro died too, so it's not like I'd expect much of them here. No one's in here. Thankfully, we don't have to go back to the stupid faculty office anymore. But yes, I am actually going to have to go out and get a Temperance persona, because I do not have one, and I need one, because we're doing the Temperance link now. So, gonna have to shuffle a few things around to make room for that one, or... So either, if I can fuse Byakko right now, I'll do it. And you're still saying the same thing. So if I can fuse Byakko now, I'll do it, but if not, I'll just go ahead and buy whatever the cheapest Temperance persona is. Like I said earlier, there's nothing really that new at the Velvet Room for us yet. I wonder if there's anyone on the shrine now that I think about it. There will be something new there kind of soon. This period of the game is actually kind of interesting. In fact, something that I should probably say now. So see how there's still that next counter there for the next full moon? So, now that we've defeated the Hangman, there are no full moon boss fights anymore. That's not to say there are no boss fights, period, anymore, but there are no more boss fights on full moons. To a lot of people, this point is where the game does kind of drag a little bit, because there is a bit less to do, and it kind of becomes... Are you saying anything here? Okay, you are kind of are. Basically, at this point, things become a little bit freer. I will say that the next area of Tartarus, to compensate for the fact that there are no more full moon boss fights, is much bigger than anything beforehand. Most areas before had 2 to 3 bosses. The next block has 5. Also, unlike earlier, the entire block of Tartarus is open to you right from the start. So, basically you need to really, well, you're a lot freer with when you do Tartarus, and basically most of the actual RPG gameplay is now basically done whenever you want it to be done, basically. Okay, there's Byakko, but it requires cert. Yeah. Can I make it with Kali? Doesn't look like it. We actually are at the right level for Melchizedek now. Who's, like, in all honesty, not really the greatest of ultimate personas in this game. I'll probably use him for a little bit just to show how he works, but... I mean, I've got some very good skills to pass down to it via Thor. In fact, those are some pretty fantastic... In fact, you know what? Before I do any of this, I'm going to not be stupid, and I'm going to immediately register my personas. Because that sounds like a good thing to do. Yeah, that should be fine. So yeah, like, progression is more like, it happens at your discretion at this point in the game, so I'm gonna have to really think about how I plan things out from here on. This persona is kind of interesting too. What do we got here? Oh, hey, we can't actually make this yet, but here is Skahar, the ultimate priestess persona, who I still feel like, their skill set's just a bit all over the place for my liking. But yeah, that's going to be in quite a few more levels. I suppose, like, now that we've maxed Emperor, I don't actually need Baron, so as long as I remember to buy back Cert, this shouldn't be too bad. Auto Mataru is great, although having Mataru Kaju itself is actually not really all that redundant. Counter-Strike is good, Fire Boost on something weak to fire is kind of hilarious, but... Great strength and agility, but it's kind of what you'd expect from a Tiger. Although I would kind of like Power Charge. Let's see what I can do here. You know, I just realized something. While Mind Charge might not be that great for Byakko itself, it actually is gonna be not bad for Seiryu, which I can actually fuse using Byakko. So I might actually go with this, even though Virus Breath is not that great. You know what, it's not like it's that big of a deal. So yes, formerly the ultimate Temperance Arcana persona, but it's not anymore. We have Byakko the White Tiger. I don't think that I've actually fused Suzaku yet, so I can't actually make the, I mean, I don't have what I need to make Seiryu just yet. I'm not quite at the right level for Seiryu either. There's Zeodyne. That says Endure, okay. Definitely not the Pokemon move. That thing is kind of like the Spirit Braces in skill form. It causes you to survive a fatal blow with 1 HP remaining. Can I make anything useful out of you? Chernobog's also kind of cool. I really do like Raphael. Mott is needed to fuse Thanatos. Oh yeah, by the way, now that we've unlocked Thanatos, he should be showing up here. Yeah, Death here. So, Ghoul, Pale Rider, Loa, Samael, Mott, and Alice. We don't have Loa and Mott yet. Once we get those two, though, we're not quite at the right level for Thanatos, unfortunately, so we'll need to wait a little bit, but once we can get Thanatos, I'm definitely going to want to fuse him. Speaking of which, though, I definitely want to register you, and I also definitely want to buy back certs, because I've made mistakes like this in the past, and I don't want to make them again, even though you cost a lot of money. We're going to have quite a lot of time at Tartarus coming up soon, so not really that big of a loss to spend that much yen. We'll be easily making it back. So now let's head back into school. Again, I always wish there was a shortcut to go back into the school. There's a shortcut out of the school, but not back in. You know, while I'm here, let's check to see if the police station and Be Blue V have anything new available. Well, yeah, that was a total waste of time. Both places had just stuff that we've already seen. Absolutely nothing new. So let's leave, and I'm so sorry, Nozomi, but we're not going to be seeing you. Yeah, I feel bad, but, his is one of probably the least popular social link in this entire game by a long shot, so I would actually kind of agree with that. His link has some amusing moments, but all in all, it's just not really all that memorable to me. And I have said this before, but it really doesn't help that his replacement in the PSP version is Shinjiro, and the Moon social link in Persona 4 is actually really, really good. So, yeah, that's kind of a thing. So, anyway, it's time to talk to Bebe again. It's been a little while. Yes, let us go to the home economics room. My accent is terrible. Because, yeah, I just do not like speaking French at all. Definitely not one of my favorite languages to do back in high school. Even though both my mother and sister actually learned French. So yes, as a recap, since we haven't done this for a while, he wants to try and make a kimono for his uncle so that his uncle will agree to let him stay in Japan. So yeah, he'll probably agree. So this is actually a pretty short and basic link here. It's kind of weird, like, all in all, Bebe's social link, he doesn't have as much development as some other characters, and, like, not a lot really happens over the course of the whole link, but I still find this one really memorable to me for some reason. It's kind of hard to describe why, but it just might be just how much, I don't know, Bebe is just quite a memorable character to me. Even though he is pretty much a gigantic walking stereotype. Yosh, who are you, the Persona 5 protagonist? I'm still wondering, I haven't quite heard yet, but I wonder what they're going to be saying in the English version rather than Yosh, because for those who don't know, we're about to get a phone call from Elizabeth. Yeah, so remember how I said that we're going to have new stuff to do in the Velvet Room soon? Yes, we do now. But yeah, for those of you who don't know, whenever the protagonist of Persona 5 does something that raises one of his stats, he goes, Yosh! And you get used to hearing that a lot. Oh, he also says that when he levels up. So yes, a new block of Tartarus has opened. Not like it's much of a surprise, seeing as she had a request open to find hands from the next block. But like I said, the next block is very special in that
Where have you been?
it opens up all at once with no barricades until the very end of the section, and it's got a lot more bosses to make up for the fact that there aren't very many, well, there aren't any full moon bosses from now on. You're going to be talking about Apathy Syndrome, aren't you? Yep. So yeah, this time it's got even worse. So yeah, those people who were predicting things, it's not really working all that much. Ike's hasn't been here for a while, ever since that incident. I mean, it's not like Igus could really consciously control what she was doing back then. She was literally being controlled by him, it wasn't her fault. At this point, we don't really understand what just happened, but yeah. Yukari has a new persona, so might be a good time to show that off in Tartarus too. I don't think I'm going to go tonight just yet. The thing is that as much as there's a lot to do in this next part of Tartarus, we have much longer than usual to get it all done by, because we don't have the full moon deadlines anymore. But yeah, here's Yukari's new persona, and she'll be learning Diorama. So she did have Mediorama. Why wasn't she using it in that fight? Always annoying when AI healers just are dumb like that. However, I should very quickly point something out. There is something that we do really need to do tonight, and this is the major thing that I wanted to talk about. So, tonight is the first of a few special events that are exclusive to FES. These special events in the Max Social Links guide are referred to by a bit of a spoilery name, so I'd recommend maybe not looking at the guide for, it's actually pretty much the rest of November, unfortunately, but if you don't want spoilers. Anyway, on these days, we need to go and talk to Junpei. Every time this happens, we need to encourage Junpei to see her. So, you need to basically cheer Junpei up and reassure him on all of these days. This is the first one. There are 4 of them. So, I'll be sure to point these out. Yeah, I better go ahead and do that before I accidentally save and miss that, because otherwise that'd be a disaster, because I have to redo the full moon again. So yes, remember, talk to Junpei tonight. You really want to. It's very important, trust me. So with that, it's now safe to save. And so with that, it's a Friday, and yeah, we just don't have much to do in the evenings anymore, so might as well just, well, I mean, actually, we could actually go to the Velvet Room right now. This is going to seem weird since we did already earlier today, but I might want to go ahead and check out some of the requests that are open, because while a new area of Tartarus has opened up, this segment of the game has a lot of outside of Tartarus requests to do, some of which we can actually take care of quite soon, so I might want to accept a few of these. Now, a lot of them have no deadline, but some of them are pretty deceptive and are very, very annoying in that regard. Also, some of the Tartarus requests that are available to us at this point, I actually can't really do them because they're past a boss that we haven't beaten yet. So, let's check your requests. I would have appreciated if you'd opened these up sooner so I could actually check them earlier, but anyway. There are a lot of new ones now. So, firstly, bring me a Featherman figure. This is not until quite a bit later, the 21st, so I'm going to leave this, but it should be fairly obvious who has this item. This is a very bizarre request. In order to complete this, there's no deadline, but apparently, I actually never did this one in my first playthrough, so I'm going to have to research this in more detail myself. But apparently, you need to buy 20 Cielo Mists from the dorm. I have no idea why, that's just what it says you have to do. I'll take care of that one later. Now this one, please go and scrub the bathroom. This is quite a bizarre one. The reward is a maid outfit for Yukari, so of course Gary Stu is going to do it. And yes, of course, the one thing that would get him to scrub the bathroom is the thought of seeing Yukari in a maid outfit. This one is, well, I'll talk about it once we actually get to it. We'll be able to finish this tomorrow, actually. This one's coming up much sooner, but I might want to accept this closer to the date when we actually need to do this. It should be pretty obvious who has this one. Then there's this request. This request, though it says there is no deadline, this quest is permanently missable. It's actually really jerkish in this way. I'm going to actually go ahead and accept this now, just because I really want to make sure that I complete this. Like I said, this is actually deceptively difficult. Now, I can't do Scarlet Havoc yet, though I actually will be able to quite soon. And also, we have yet another Elizabeth date request to do. The deadline's for quite late. Tomorrow I might want to focus on doing a few other things. And then we have that. Oh, and yes, more Tartarus. So yeah, lots and lots of new requests here. Retrieve the last old document. This one is at the very end of the 5th block. 3 moon tablets by Purple Shadows in the next area, Ruinous Idols, and 6 pink feathers from floors 181 to 190, which is nowhere near where we're up to, so that's going to be for quite a bit later. There are a lot of floors that are open to us at this point. And that is everything. So with that, we're now done. We don't need any specific persona for tomorrow, because tomorrow we're actually going to be maxing a social link, and so we will be not needing a persona. Hopefully. And the day after we don't actually need a persona either. So I'm just looking ahead. After that we do Lovers again, so I've got Titania, that's fine. And then we do Temperance again, which is fine because I have Temperance. And then we need Fortune. I think do I have Fortune? Let me just check. I do have Fortuna. Perfect. You know, I should have, while I was out, done something. You know, it's fine. It's fine at this point. Doesn't really matter. So, I'm going to go ahead and go back to the room. Because tomorrow we have something pretty significant to do. Like I said, we're actually going to be maxing a social link. Before that, though, we're going to be doing the lovely activity of cleaning the bathroom. Which is a kind of a strange request. You'll see once we actually get to it. Oh joy, more gossip. I wonder what it's going to be about this time. You know, are you sure that's actually an apathy syndrome person and not someone who's just brain dead from all of the work and exams? Yes, then you'll make it people think like the entire country is getting screwed over, which it probably is going to be. And at this point, C's has no idea what to do about it, so good luck, I guess. What do you have to say about the situation? Well, yeah, I mean, considering what you just did, she's probably still feeling bad about that, and yeah, you're still saying the same thing. So, before we do anything, we actually need to go out, so I need to go back into the classroom to talk to the warping guy, who thankfully is not going to say anything more about that. Well, I mean, he will next exams. That, oh, blah, 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 get good score, impress me too, blah, blah, blah. Now we can skip straight to this much more easily. The one time that you actually need to skip out of the school most of the time, because during exams, you're usually seeing people like Michael or other outside of school characters. So, the bathroom is actually at Port Island Station. And if we're actually not close to it. I thought we'd be closer, because if you go here by a certain route, you actually come out of the station. What are you even talking about? Huh. They probably have some kind of a continuing plotline throughout the whole game, actually. Yeah, something's changed, definitely for the worse. Oh. You know, I recently saw a movie like that, and I really didn't enjoy it. Yeah. You know what? That annoys me, because I felt that exact feeling kind of recently. So, I don't know, I think this might be the missing person that they were talking about, the one near this vending machine. I want to examine the vending machine. Okay, we can't actually get anything, get this yellow mist there. Oh, that's probably a reference to, I mean, just... Oh, right. Actually, maybe these are the following people. I mentioned that they have this little plot line that goes on throughout the entire game, but maybe it is those two back from the school. But yeah, they were kind of referencing the high-class cat food quest here. But might have been a hint as to how to complete that quest if you haven't done it yet. Because it doesn't have a deadline, so you could conceivably leave it until now. There's another quest that we could conceivably leave until now, and that's this one, but we're actually going to go ahead and do it. So, it's not you. You know, I should probably talk to people like out of the school more often. Anyway, this is the bathroom that Elizabeth's referring to. So, yes, we must go in. So, we need our own cleaning supplies to do this. What is the cleaning equipment that we need? Well, it's actually the scrub brush, and you actually need to go and equip it. This thing right here. What trips a lot of people up is that this is also a quest reward. So, yeah, this is the reward for, I believe this was for the Inari Sushi request as well. At first I was worried that that one would use up time, and so we wouldn't actually be able to do this until much later, which would mean that we wouldn't be able to clean the bathroom until much later. But that's actually not the case. Now that I mention it, I actually don't think I've shown this one off in Tartarus yet, so I might as well do that when I come here next time. So you have to equip the scrub brush. And that lets us actually help clean. So, yes, we help cleaning. Scrub harder! Scrub harder! No, this is our first time doing it, but Gary Stu is always perfect. So, that is that request done. So it's yeah, deceptively a little bit more complicated than it looks, because you have to actually complete a different request to get the item that you need to do it. Kind of an interesting one though, and I like that you can get it done pretty quickly if you know what you're doing. I was worried for a sec when I saw that that tile wouldn't get clean, that it would require several visits, but thankfully, unlike a certain other request that I won't mention, yes, it does not. You know, maybe I should turn that... I think I should turn that request in when I go for Elizabeth's date request, which I'll be maybe doing, kinda soon. I'm just trying to think when I'd be able to fit that in. Maybe on Monday. Or, yeah, just doing some kind of on-the-fly planning. Possibly Tuesday, actually. So, today, we are going to be doing the final rank of the Strength Arcana. And you know what that means? Oh, she's blushing already. That's a good sign for Gary Stu. Yes, he certainly wants to do something together. And even though it does mention that we have Kali, we don't really need it. We've already maxed this one out. Going to her house twice in the space of one social link. No other girl's done that. So last time, she slipped up and revealed that she wants to have his babies. What is she going to do this time? An excuse, huh? Oh, right, it's about that. Yeah, I guess they... It's kind of weird. I'm not sure which part of it that's referring to, the mouthy part or the they had their moments part, but judging by her reaction, it's probably that they had their moments part. Ooh. Yep, yeah, clearly she's... Yes, very into him, and normally this would be quite sweet, except he's dating so many other girls at the same time. So yeah, that's our max social link item for this link. But that's not the real reason she invited him here. Oh. Gary Stu's heard another girl say this too. I see. Well, yeah. Gary Stu lives for special thank yous. And with that... By mastering the Strength Social Link, we can create Siegfried, the Bearer of Victory. Siegfried joins Thor as yet another member of the Not Wearing Pants Club among Ultimate Personas, but putting that aside, Siegfried is actually the German name of a hero from Norse mythology called Sigurd, and all you Fire Emblem fans out there will probably recognise that name as the person that the protagonist of the 4th game was named after. Siegfried is the name that he's most well known by, due to Wagner creating a famous 15-hour-long epic opera called The Ring of the Nibelung, based off of his story. Well, at least parts of it are based off of his story. The scope of the entire thing is kind of insane, but one part is called just Siegfried, so he's obviously the star of that. To most mainstream audiences, the only thing people remember from Ring of the Nibelung is Ride of the Valkyries, which, yes, does in fact originate from that and not Apocalypse Now, as many people in popular culture don't realise. Either that or they know it as the Kill the Wabbit song. But that's enough going off topic. Siegfried is famous for killing the dragon Fafnir, and bathing himself in its blood to become immortal. Or at least he would have been if one tiny little leaf hadn't landed on the back of his neck, thus causing the blood to miss a spot. That myth actually sounds somewhat familiar. In this game, Siegfried is pretty heavily focused towards physical attacks, but almost entirely slash. You'll have to pass other physical skills down onto him via fusion, and it's recommended that you do because Siegfried is a pretty great physical persona, learning Power Charge, and especially Arms Master. This halves the HP cost for all physical skills. Pretty much exactly what it says on the tin, and highly recommended as inheritance for any physically focused persona. Siegfried isn't the only one who gets this skill, however, and it's a testament to how forgettable I find the Ultimate Tower persona, in that I thought this was the first time we were seeing the Arms Master skill here, when, in fact, Share Your gets it, so yep. Siegfried, though, learns Auto Masukukaja rather than the Auto Matarukaja that you'd expect, but it's still somewhat useful, though fusing Auto Mataru onto him is definitely recommended. He also gets High Counter, which is always awesome, although he already nulls one physical element and resists another, so it's not like he really needs this. Still, extra damage on the enemy is always nice. His other support skill is one that actually is unique to him, Two-Handed Sword Master, which doubles the damage dealt by two-handed swords. It'd be really great if Junpei could somehow get this, but he can't. And personally, I don't like using two-handed swords in the protagonist all that much. If you do, this is a great skill, but if you're like me, you probably won't get much use out of this one. In terms of actual offensive moves, he only learns 2 of them, but they're both very good. Tempest Slash is almost as good as Deathbound in a way. It hits 1 to 2 times and is only slightly weaker. Doesn't have quite as much of a critical rate though. And Vorpal Blade is the most powerful slash attack in the game, and also does 1.5 times damage if you're in great condition, which is very easy at this point in the game, given that we've maxed academics and can basically afford to rest every night. A very good skill overall. Siegfried also has a fusion spell, Scarlet Havoc. In a way though, power-wise it's actually kind of inferior to Tempest Slash. It does cost SP instead of HP though, so that can be helpful sometimes. Plus it looks pretty cool. One more thing is that Sigurd has a unique weapon fusion. Fusing him with any Nile weapon will give you the Balmung, which is his actual weapon that he used to slay Fafnir in mythology. While you might think that this is the ultimate two-handed sword in the game, it's actually not. There is one other that is stronger than it significantly, and it doesn't even come for an ultimate persona at that. The Balmung is still pretty good for what it is though. It's got over 300 power, doesn't have any elemental properties, so you don't have to worry about absorb fire enemies screwing with you, and it gives plus 100 HP, which is quite a decent bonus. So if you like physical attacks, Siegfried is definitely a persona to consider. Gary Stu scores again. And yeah, the way that ends, that's definitely one of the more suggestive of the links in this game. I remember another playthrough that immediately said like, ooh, rated M for mature once that happened, and I was like, you don't actually see anything, so it's not like that really justifies an M rating, but anyway. No, I don't wanna. Oh, well, I mean, he'll forgive her just because she's such a pretty lady. And yeah, you're still saying the same thing. But at least she's back. And we encouraged him before. But he's still a bit concerned. Although I think I know full well what's happening to Chidori. Yep, saying that it hurts in her chest whenever she sees him. It's pretty textbook. Still, yeah. You don't know anything to do about it. This is a pretty tough time, though. Most of the dialogue here is the same as always. So we actually could go to Tartarus tonight? I'm just trying to think. Should we, or... Because really, we have plenty of time for this. We have a lot more time than we usually have. There are a few quests that we have deadlines for, but we can afford to put some of them off for a bit. And I just realized I was supposed to talk to the Persimmon Tree girl today just to explain one of the requests, but we can do that. I was going to say tomorrow, but tomorrow is a Sunday. We can do that a bit later. For now, though... yeah, let's just save and then do the one on Sunday, and then maybe, yeah, maybe on... Just trying to think. Okay, yeah, maybe... Okay, I think we're going to go to Tartarus tomorrow night. That's what my plan is at the moment. So... Because Sunday should be quite short. I should probably maybe be able to fit Sunday into this video. A lot of plot events have been going on, so... And unfortunately we are busy. Might feel like there haven't been as many days of progress in this video, but... We have maxed out a social link. And yeah, if that's the case, then maybe on Monday I might actually be able to do Elizabeth's one. Just kind of planning things out video-wise. So today is a Sunday, and you know what that means? It means it's Tanaka time, and also Sun time. But firstly, we're going to be seeing Tanaka. So, hey there. Hello, irritatingly catchy song. So what do we got? Ravenclaw. Okay, that's something that... If the Swordbreaker turns out to be better than that, I'm going to be really annoyed. 7 mega protein. Oh, that's a lot of money, though. That's almost exactly as much as it cost me to get Cert back, now that I think about it. Though, like I said, we are going to be going to Tartarus tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and go for it. So, let's just, head on out. So I guess Monday we can turn the thing in. We've got a conversation going on here, so let's see what they're saying. This is actually kind of interesting, because if you remember back to that recording with Ikutsuki, he was alone there, and he was still making those horrible jokes. So it's possible that he actually still genuinely enjoys them, even though he was really an evil psychopath. But the other thing is that the recordings are actually added in FES, so originally maybe that was intended to just be a fake personality. Alternatively, he knew about the cameras and so was acting like that intentionally to throw everyone off the scent. Or maybe Ikutsuki caused the faulty recording equipment to begin with so that he could keep tabs on everyone. I mean, that kind of makes sense when you think about it. Yeah, he was betraying us all along. Yeah, so this might not make sense to people who don't really know much about Japanese, but dropping the honorific from someone usually means one of two things. Either you have absolutely zero respect for them, or you are very intimately romantic with them. Let's seriously hope that it's the former. Well, I mean, Aigis can literally do that, but it's not like the others can. Let's see what everyone else around the dorm is saying. Well, I mean, we've seen a bad bunch. We shouldn't let that taint our opinion of them. I mean, Yukari's father was great. Mitsuru's father was great. Yeah, everyone does at this point. Akihiko must be taking this pretty hard considering how close he is to her. Meanwhile, Mood Whiplash on the next episode of Phoenix Ranger, Featherman R. Episode 38, Hammer Ambush. Viewers, treat your friends right. Once again, adding in random moral stuff. And yes, that's still happening. So, with all this depressing stuff that's going on, let's make ourselves even more depressed by seeing the Sun social link today. Yay! I do quite like the Sun social link though, so it's pretty good that we're doing a lot of this one. We still haven't quite got to the part of it that's really, really just the most interesting to me. But, hi there, Akinari. Oh no, it's getting bad this time. Yep. Don't want to turn him down when he's like this. Yeah, but you do need your rest. And yeah, reprimand Akinari is actually the best response here. He really shouldn't be pushing himself. No, it's fine. And still no change of music. Level 5 though, we're actually halfway through this one already. Yeah, you really need to get some rest. So, like I promised, tonight we will be going out to Tartarus. Sadly, we'll be down one member. Mitsuru's going to have to do quite a bit of catching up leveling when she's back. Not that really should be a main concern now. So, I'll see you back here once it's time to go to Tartarus.